Okay, so we're going to be doing a lot of steps, and I think I'm going to do real short videos so that way each small segment you can rewatch the video pretty easily and not have to try to find markers and places in it. So, step one, we need to tell Blender that something is going to be spread out on the surface of this plane. To do that, we need to make points that are spread out on the surface, and then Blender will put our things on those points. So we need to add point. So I forgot what it's called. Well, in the middle of recording. What's it called? Distribute points on faces. Here we go. So we are going to add the distribute, I can't talk this morning, distribute points on faces. And we're going to plug that in. And what you see are a bunch of points that have been scattered along the plane. You'll notice that you no longer see the plane because Blender thinks you only want to see these points. So to fix it so that we can see the plane once again, we need to add, by hitting Shift-A, a join geometry node. And that's going to plug in here on the far right next to the output. And we're going to take the original geometry, the plane, our landscape, and that's going to be joined with the points. So now we can see the plane and we can see our points all in the same place. Okay. Now, when we look at this, we notice there's a density, which we're going to play with later, but we can change how many or how few of those points are showing up using this number. And this will be a key number later when we're trying to decide how many trees we want on the plane. Next, we want something to be attached to the points. That something will be our tree. So we need to add an instance on points node, and that will plug in after the distribute points on faces. Now you'll notice the points disappeared because Blender knows that we want something there for the points, but we haven't told it what that something is yet. So next we're going to tell it what thing we want as our instance. So to make this a little easier, I'm going to try to keep these kind of organized so you can visually see what's going on better. So I'm pulling, I guess I'm going to use a vertical hierarchy. The first steps are going to be kind of higher up, and then the next step will be a bit lower down, and just kind of work our way down that way. So I'm going to slide these out a bit. And personally, I don't care how you arrange these, but it's going to get a little hectic. So if you can keep it somewhat organized, your life will be a little easier. All right. So right now I know I'm plugging something into this, and I'm going to put it down below it and close to it. So Shift-A, we want object info, and I'm just going to put that down below this. And we want the geometry of the object as the instance that we're showing. And let's go ahead and tell it that we want to use the pine tree. And now we see that we have a bunch of pine trees all over the surface. We would like to be able to have the scale of our object here and have that data communicated so that if I select this tree and scale it, then I have control over all of them here. So if overall are too big or too small, I can select this one object and adjust it without having to do anything too crazy. And we don't need to keep the transform. We don't need any of the location data. We don't want them to move when this moves. And for this, the rotation isn't really going to matter because in another video, we're going to set up where the scale and the rotation are randomly adjusted. So let's stop there for now. And then in the next video, we'll talk about the next step.